Just in time. I've talked to Madame Pearl. She will handle all the arrangements for your passage, so you can enter the world in canvas to find my ancestor Graphia. Actually, I hoped you could take some time to rest first. Once you've fully rested, you may make your way to the dock in Seafeld City. Madame Pearl has a special ship waiting for you there. It will take you to the border between this world and the world in canvas, a place known as Inkford Hermitage. That's your final stop before entering the world in canvas, a place to gather your supplies and rest up before you set out on the journey ahead. I know you'll have to go alone this time, but I don't think it'll be dangerous. After all, that realm was created by Graphia, my ancestor. The thought of it makes me feel calm, in a strange but comforting way. If you get to meet her, please give her my regards. I am indeed quite curious. I'd love to see this ancestor of mine for myself, and hear her story in her own words. But someone must stay here and keep watch. Madame Pearl wishes to confer with me and General Yao Guang about our next steps in dealing with Asat Pramod. So I'll be entrusting this mission into the world in canvas to you. Go ahead. Set out once you've rested up. I'll be here with Welt and the others, awaiting good news from you.
In other words, that woman wants you to take Shuhu and jump straight into the Veracity and leave the rest to the Aeon's stomach acid? And this is between me and him, right? Why are you tagging along?
Relax. I'll say my goodbyes and be gone. A dignified funeral, If you ask me, this ending is indeed grand enough.
I don't care about any of that. There's only one thing I care about. Does he have to die?
Here's a piece of advice, little cub. Whether he lives or dies is his choice. That's the one thing you don't get to decide for him.
It has landed.
What?
Nothing. Just a seabird landing on the rocks. A blade forged of mortal steel cannot sever an undying fate. If Shuhu is to be put down, the options are few, and that Leviathan is one of them.
In time, people will say this. The culprit of the Juming gave his life for the greater good, and plunged into the abyss alongside the abomination.
I'm not as noble as you make it sound. Many years ago, you invited me to join the Galaxy Rangers. I refused for one reason. I'm a petty man. I was never born to carry some greater good. This is between Shuhu and me. Nothing more.
Can't argue with that. A Galaxy Ranger through and through. Well then, I won't say anything more.
Blade, you sure about this?
For years, death has clung to me like a curse, etched into my bones. If there is a chance to make a god feel the same pain, I would do it, even if this body is reduced to ash. As for everyone else, there's no need to drag them into this. We'll proceed as Yao Guang proposed. Bury Shu Hu at the end of the world in canvas, taking me with him, and let the veracity dissolve us both.
Take care.
How about you stay as well? You might as well see it through to the end with us.
Plain Arcadia has bigger problems that need my attention. Your instincts were right. That meanie pulling strings from the shadows is none other than a Sat Pramod.
Who else would want to kick a Ha's head like a ball?
So, I need to get back and finish my job.
Investigating a Lord Ravager sounds like a job you don't come back from.
Therefore, it also pays very well.
Then here's hoping you live long enough to collect your payment. Every time, when it's just the two of us, you go quiet.
You know what I'm going to say. The seabird's flown off. It's time for us to go too.
The terror slumbering at the heart of Plain Arcadia is... Ouroboros.
After the swarm disaster, the veracity vanished, never to appear again for more than 700 amber eras. Their last rumored sighting was 500 years ago.
History fictionologists claim that Ouroboros lies in wait at the edge of the cosmos, guarded by their children, awaiting the day of their return.
I've heard that story before, but it wasn't about the edge of the cosmos. It was Pier Point. They say that the preservation is nothing more than a facade, and the IPC is, in truth, a cult devoted to the veracity.
Organic life has quite the imagination. They've said other things, too. That Louis Fleming seeks to ascend as the Eon of Wealth. That the Council of Mundanites are mere hounds of Dr. Primitive. That the Marketing Development Department colludes with the destruction, turning a blind eye to the spread of Stellaron's. Such rumors are endless. I believe the General should be able to tell which are true and which are not.
I've never heard the last one, so let's assume it's the only one that's true. Such terrible breath. Once this Leviathan awakens, the Arcadia's destruction would be all but instantaneous.
For now, this remains conjecture. The sealed remains appear to be a husk that Ouroboros once shed. Why it's here, and how it's connected to the elation, remain unknown. Yet even a fragmented remnant of an Eon is a threat that can't be ignored. The calamity of the Leviathan must not be allowed to re-emerge in this world.
Naturally. That is why I'm here. And it's about time for the two Nameless to arrive. Oh, you're just on time.
General Yao Guang, as instructed, warding talismans have been placed at over a dozen sites across Plain Arcadia.
My thanks. It was Mr. Yang's talent of creation out of nothing that allowed us to reproduce dozens of plumes and complete the deployment with such speed. Now, with yin and yang aligned, and all four aspects in place, as long as we set up the last formation core, the Decalight reflection barrier will be complete.
Using the divine eye of the Spiritus to weave a giant web, one that ensnares countless possible futures. General, have you truly made up your mind?
Though Shuhu has been eradicated, the signs of doom have not faded. On the contrary, they grow ever clearer. After much consideration, the source can only be this restless corpse.
One crisis is yet to pass, and another is already upon us. The Arcadia's ley lines were already riddled with scars, and now even the ancient tree's seal is starting to loosen. While Evanesia is asleep, someone must take up her duty to guard this place.
But defending isn't the way of the hunt. If you don't want to become the prey, you must become the hunter.
General, do you intend to go on the offensive and suppress the remains of the Veracity?
How could I? The Joy Seeker could barely confine that husk using the Abundance's ambrosial arbor as its cage. I'm not that arrogant as to place myself alongside the gods. I'm not here to guard against an Eon, but against a lesser menace. Lord Ravager sought Pramod. This barrier is prepared for him.
Asat Pramod has been meddling with the game from the shadows. His intentions unclear. We know little about him or the Veracity. By chance, however, a friendly citizen has provided us with intel.
Ouroboros' remains are in Ahatopia, aren't they? Silence is an answer in itself. I've seen that reaction too many times.
I'm not surprised that you were the first to discover it. You were in the Torn Scroll too. The probability of you noticing was 24%.
That's a little low, don't you think? I'd put it at well over 90.
What I don't understand is this. There were countless ways to verify your hypothesis, yet you chose the most unconventional one. You bypassed security and broke into the building to confront me in person. What is your objective?
This is no confrontation. It's a warning, Madame Pearl. I'm a security officer, and there is only one reason I'm here. While everyone else is fixated on the Phantasmoon games, only the Department of Aberration Defense is watching other places.
Like the location where the new Herald of Death case was closed?
Correct. The incident involved 4 Daybreak warriors, 3 nameless, 1 detective, and 1 officer. But just moments ago, a 10th set of footprints appeared at the scene.
After the investigation, we learned that the traces were left deliberately. A blatant provocation.
The Lord Ravager bent on destroying the Elation came uninvited. Make no mistake. Plain Arcadia is the stage he chose with care, and drawing the Abundance into the fray was hardly a whim.
Our top priority is to dispose of Shuhu's flesh properly to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands and causing another calamity.
That said, We cannot afford to ignore Asat Pramad's next move.
This giant web is prepared for that very purpose. Once the entire planet is folded into the divination's trajectory, under the gaze of the Omnitia, all possibilities will be laid bare. When that time comes, he won't wish to leave any footprints behind.
One final question. Why did the Lord Ravager choose to visit this place? Does he have an ulterior motive? Or is this merely some twisted joke?
That question should be left to the professionals. Don't forget, we have a detective who can't seem to rest. Let's hope the accumulation of variables can tip the scales in our favor.
And so, the people set out, and the gondola, bound for distant lands, set sail. At the end of the world, the Elation once again declared war upon the Veracity. K, frail little humans! Ouroboros split their mouth wide open! Whoever can fill my whole mouth with but a single thing shall receive a reward, my tongue. The fool known as the Shepherd captured a comet, but it wasn't even enough to fill the gap between the Veracity's teeth. The bartender Braji opened the wine cellar, yet they only grew drowsy, drifting off to sleep. And en route, he crept up to the Veracity's ear and told them a corny joke. The Veracity pondered it for 10 amber eras, then burst into laughter at their own amusement. En route spread his hands and said, "See, I filled your mouth with laughter."
Then what happened?
Then the Veracity said, "Are you kidding me?" And with that, they opened their gaping maw and tore en route to pieces.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Those are the facts, my inquisitive auditor. If you want to hear more stories, you're welcome to discuss with your classmates.
We came here to investigate the Veracity and Asat Pramod, but all we got were stories that only a 3-year-old would believe.
Rumors don't just appear out of thin air. It's just a matter of how much truth you think they hold.
At least 90% of that was made up.
Sometimes that last 10% is all you need. Oh, plenty of bystanders around. Let's hear what they have to say.
reflecting about the veracity? You thinking about walking that path?
Walk the path of veracity? Do I need to eat everything in sight?
You got it! Kids always dream big. Some are bulldozers, some are monsters, and I am Autoboros! Yeah, and the man.
Ugh, can you talk normal? Stop gulping for air.
I swore to become a veracity path strider. I eat everything. Tasty, nasty, anything I could chew. Finally, I pinched my nose and swallowed loose mouth, and they looked at me!
Ouroboros?
Nah! Ah! Very regrettable.
Enough already.
I'm telling you, it was all bluffing. The fools didn't lose. En route and Dorothy, when the veracity wasn't looking, roll up their skin like a crepe, snatch it up and poke it. Then poof! They were gone! Even Comic-Con Collective don't got a veracity card. I already filed a formal complaint with the organizers.
You should be putting this much effort into your studies!
They say a dull pen beats a sharp memory. My memory's dull, and my pen's not much better.
Then you must have a lot of stationery.
A kindred spirit. Miss, it seems you're one of us as well. I've met far too many fools who can't even read. Oddly enough, those of us who truly love learning are the rare ones. Interested in studying the knowledge of the laughter? I have a reference book here. You can have it.
This feels completely made up. But, thanks anyway.
Oh, please. Thank the seniors. To compile this book, they offended every Eon they possibly could, and narrowly escaped death at the hands of each and every one of them. As for me, I'm just the one who keeps the books circulating.
Hey, friends! How was your first day of school?
Sparksy's here to pick you up after class.
Where were you just now? You opened the door for us and just disappeared. Don't tell me you're up to something again.
Still doubting me? You're breaking Sparkskull's heart here. That whole foolish thing. I took on every emoji in the tavern by myself, fought them all the way to the end of the world, and even wore my mask down to nothing! But honestly, this place runs on rumors. Aha is being chased by the Veracity. Aha chases the Veracity. We won't get anywhere following stories like this.
Let's go through what we know so far. Ooh. Yeah, it's a complete mess.
So, after a bit of thought, Lady Sparksy came up with a brilliant idea. I borrowed a nifty little gadget from a friend. The Unreal Sparks and Spark! No idea how it works, but apparently this light bulb makes you smarter the moment you put it on.
Does this friend know you borrowed it?
Supramod has a gun to our heads, and this is what you're worried about? He'll find out one day.
Well then, I'll go first.
It, doesn't look very reliable. Are you sure about this?
No worries. If anything goes wrong, the friend in my head will protect me.
Doesn't seem to have any effect.
No, it's working perfectly. I get it now. All of it. No need to dance around. Our enemy is a Lord Ravager. There's only one question we need answered. How does Asat Pramod plan to destroy Elation?
Correction. The effect is very obvious.
Judging by Nanook's habit of picking Lord Ravagers, I wouldn't be surprised if Asat Pramod was once a masked fool, and therefore knows Aha's weakness. The Arcadia is like a microcosm of eons and paths. People indulge themselves in fabricated happiness, unable to pull themselves away from it. Many have expressed their concerns. This isn't elation. Aha is playing with fire.
A classic social realist deduction. Old-fashioned. Ooh, but effective. We're closing in on the truth.
Yes, the answer is all but revealed. You are Asat Pramod, Sparksy.
Do you have evidence?
Of course. The truth is so simple that everyone overlooked it. The evidence is... you were the first person I met when I got off the Express.
If I am Asat Pramod, would you and Grey Hair have been able to walk out of the school alive?
Yeah, fair point.
Just take that thing off already.
That's weird. I thought I was on the right track.
Let me give you a lesson. Deduction isn't about pupil skills. It's about smart tricks and flawless logic.
Watch and learn. Sparkle, master of the classic whodunit, has entered the chat. You changed your clothes just for this? First of all, Ouroboros likes to eat. Secondly, whatever they eat disappears completely. Therefore, veracity is also a form of destruction. This is the classic mystery of one culprit, two identities. The one trying to kill Elation is... the Lord Ravager, a Sapramod, played by the Veracity! What am I even saying? Classic whodunit? This is more like a classic Who's the Dummy.
Ah, I get it now. All this thing does is make wild guesses sound reasonable. So far, that's the most accurate piece of information we've gotten.
No need to be so serious, Detective. Why don't you show us what you've got? By the way, what type of detective are you?
Me? I'm the tough guy type. I don't waste time on useless details. I aim straight at the heart of the problem. You're not wrong. Asat Pramod is Nanook's weapon to assassinate Aha. Whatever his plan may be, the target doesn't change. Remember, as far as humanity knows, there are only 3 ways an Eon can fall.
A broader path engulfs a narrower one. Divine warfare between eons, and the third one. What was it again?
Forcing an Eon to turn away from their own path.
Whichever it is, none of it sounds remotely connected to plain Arcadia. So, what makes you so certain Asat Pramod is here on business, not on vacation?
Because we folks just dug up one heck of a treasure from underground. And in the stories tied to them, we've unearthed more than a few names worth paying attention to.
Him? He caused trouble in Gotham City a few days ago. Pearl threw him into prison.
I know. I was the one who caught him.
An old pal who can't stop lying. He goes on and on about death being a solitary feast, but I just saw him last week, alive.
I see you're acquainted. Please, introduce us sometime.
Baraji? Forget it! He's good behind the bar, but slippery as an eel. Ask him to work for Nanook, and he'd run away on the spot.
The former bartender of the tavern, everyone knows him. Couldn't be him.
That's just a title. Anyone with a girlish heart can call themselves Dorothy. Between you and me, Director Sparkle used that name once too. Guess when?
Looks like this clue has little value to it. Right. He's the one I can't stop thinking about. The stories change every time, but they all circle back to the same logic. En route defeated the Veracity by some means.
You're right. Then who is this en route? Do you know him? En route.
Of course she does!
Everyone in the tavern knows that name. Long ago, its owner grew tired of jokes, cast aside his mask, and walked away. Some say he became a mourning actor. Others say he jumped into IX's black hole. But none of that matters. What truly matters is that you have my unreal Sparks and Spark.
I knew it.
Give it back, give it back! That's a big order my client wants immediately.
What do you mean, give it back? It just wandered off, and I happened to find it on the way, so I brought it home. You want it? Here, take it now.
Absolutely not. Wait, right now? This doesn't sound like you at all.
No. If it's a no, it's a no. Guess I'll keep it. Bye-bye.
Get back here!
Sir, do you need to hire a private detective?
Hey!
Can you catch her for me?
Of course. I'll have that thing returned to you safe and sound in half a day. But, in exchange, I'd like you to elaborate a bit more on what you were saying.
Oh, so that's why you're here. Now, old Sempo's intel isn't cheap. Waiving the fee won't quite cut it, will it?
Name your price. Put it on Pearl's tab.
Ha! Just kidding. Money talks boring. Besides, the Astral Express and I go way back. Oh, and I wouldn't scam you two. The en route you're looking for lives up to the name. There's nowhere he can't reach. Only places he hasn't been yet. He's the gold standard of the masked fools. He only shows up where he's least welcome. A mourning actor's stage, a friend's wedding, even inside the Veracity's mouth. All for the sake of a good laugh. Oh.
That lines up. Sounds like the origin of the legend. So, he's a friend of yours?
Not a chance! Back when old Sempo was still a kid, en route was already a name in the history books. He left the tavern during the Second Prosperity. They say after hearing 30 trillion jokes, he never laughed again. Before he left, en route said one thing that, at the time, no one cared about. Elation has been dead for a long time.
Where did he go after he left the tavern?
The tavern has 10,000 mouths, all telling different stories. All I know is this. He said he was headed for the true world's end, and then he vanished without a trace.
How do you know all this?
Oh, I've been around long enough to have my own channels. Just trust old Sempo. And about catching Sparksy?
Leave it to me. I keep my word.